Hey guys, just want to say thanks. We hit 100 subscribers, which is a big deal for me. So thank you guys for the support and for checking out the videos. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do, man. It's we're going to keep bringing you a lot of cool content with the Falclone and some other projects we got going on, and hopefully we'll just keep growing the channel and doing some fun stuff. So hey, thanks for the support. Thanks for the 100 subscribers. Check out the links below if you want a t-shirt, Southeast Beach Yacht Falclone t-shirt. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, getting a little bit closer on the floors. So I've got one of my support beams for the flooring right here, going to the two cross beams, and then starting to skeleton out the tunnel a little bit there. So I think we're gonna go that simpler shape all the way to the front. I'll have to do more bracing and maybe another front crossbar over the top. I'm not sure how to do that yet. I think I'm going to kind of build the floors out and up to that point, and then once I figure out how to do the toe boards up front, I'll kind of tie everything in. So I may have to do one more body support. I'm not sure here, and then that'll support the floor as I build the tunnel up and around. We'll figure that out. I want to get the body off the chassis to do that anyway. I'll probably skeleton it out with some welding rod. So I have some thick TIG rod that I'll kind of tack in place to kind of give me a general idea where to go and outline around the transmission. And then I'll know my parameters, you know, where I'm not going to have interference issues with the transmission and everything. I'll kind of have it skeleton out. That when I pull everything off, I can continue on. But I think this looks pretty good. Feeling pretty good about that. Now I can start laying in some ram board, sort of like what I've done on the other side. You can see I have a little bit of ram board out there. Just trying to get a general idea of how the floorboard's going to lay out. I actually think I'm going to cut that in sections, so it wouldn't be just one long piece. I'm going to have a piece here and then a piece up front. Same thing on that side. And then we get to the back, which I think is, you know, is a little less important right now, because I really want to get the structure in here so I can get my seats mounted and kind of lined up. But I'll just carry on that same theme and do a step up back there into this back section, and then start capping everything off. So yeah, some floors. More to come here. As you can see, the skeleton for this floor is starting to come together. This side's been pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward because the transmission is not as geometrically a challenge on this side as the other. So you can see this is pretty straightforward. I need to put in one more bar here. I got to order some square tubing to do that. I use this 3" by 1" 7-gauge material over here. That stuff. And it worked out really well. I like how strong that is, how low profile it sits in there. So I think I'm going to put a piece of that up here, and I think I'm going to replace this beam right here, this 1.5" square tubing with that 3x1 right there on this side, as well as the other side. I think I'm going to do a replacement of that. But for this, to get the floors just settled in here, this will be all right for now. Come around to this other side, the driver's side. You can see it's a little bit more complex. Again, I'm going to replace this with with this material right here. I really like how this fits and looks in here. So I'm going to order some more of this, and I'm going to replace this beam with it. And this will be a support beam for the driver's side left-hand bracket on our seat. So we'll drill into that material for the right-hand bracket, and then once I have that new piece for the left. As you can see over here, I had to get a little funky. The transmission back here at the transfer case has a bulge that comes out on this end, so I got to account for that. So what I've done is I had to make a little juke in the support beam here, so I had to get a little crafty there and weld up a little brace there, get around the prop shaft on the front, and then I need a little bit of height on top of this guy so I could get that get the flooring to work around the transfer case here for this bulge. So what I did was I just took a piece of angle iron and I think this is 3/4 by 3/4 angle, and I just did a little juke in it, and that'll give me enough space to build out this panel, put a little kick down in the panel, plenty of room there. I also, here's the thing, I've got a 4L60 in it right now, and I'm going to try to run the 4L60. I don't want to, but to get the car up and going, I'm going to run the 4L60 for a little bit of time. And when I change over to the 4L80, all this is going to come back about 3 inches. So all of this stuff, when we move to the 4L80, is going to move back 3 inches. So what I've tried to do is build in 3 inches of travel for everything with my flooring. So when I do that later, I don't have to come back in here and cut the flooring out and redo it. So there's plenty of room for this to come back 3 inches here. Kind of measured everything else. I can move this tag around. Everything can then come back about 3 inches and still clear the floor, which I'm stoked about. So yeah. So I have the skeleton structure for the floor built, at least for this main section right here. This is where most of the weight for the driver and the passenger is going to be. With the seats, it has to be the most rigid. It's got to be the most structurally sound for safety. And then once I have this locked in, I start making my panels. I can work those panels back through the back section of the car, no problem, and then up to the front to the toe boards, which I'll have to do as well. Still need to figure out a few things up there, but man, I'm really excited. I'm going to get the seats mounted in this thing at some point. So making some progress here. We're going to get the seats in. I got to start working the steering column because this one's coming out, and we're putting a late model steering column in it that came out of the Bravada. So we'll have tilt and all that good stuff. But I can also put like a NRG steering wheel release on it, so I can have a detachable steering wheel on there. So I want to do that. Yeah, a lot of other cool stuff. Plus the wiring is built into this other steering column for a GM, which I'm running all LS stuff. So for this guy, when I put it in, I'll have all the wiring components. So I'll have blinkers and all that stuff already integrated into it. Be easy peasy. Say easy peasy, I don't know. We'll find out. yeah, so we're getting closer to being able to sit in this thing and see what that's going to be like. You know, we moved our floor up a good bit, so you can see how much taller the floor is than it was, you know, originally. The floor on this car was down about, I'd say down about 4 inches from where we're at now. Trying to make room to get that chassis up under here. So we've got to make sure we got enough headroom. And so once the seats are in here, we're going to have to get those seat brackets super low. We may have to make some custom brackets to keep it as far down as possible, so we can have room for a headroom and for a helmet. So when we're racing, we're not banging our head around up at the top of the ceiling. So who knows, if we got to do that, maybe we'll put some bubbles on the top of the roof or something. I hope not, but because I don't have any more room in this thing. We are stretching it. So all right, guys, so yeah, making some progress. I'm gonna start cutting up some ram board. Actually, I can show you that. Already cut up a little bit. Let's stick it in here. This will give us a little bit of an idea about how the flooring is going to go. As you can see, I've already changed strategy here a little bit. I was thinking our floor is going to look a little something like that, but after trying to accommodate for this section right here with the transfer case, had to adjust that. So I'm going to cut me a new sheet, a little bit more angled in this rounded kind of look, and then go from there. So be back soon. All right, so I've got a couple pieces of ram board cut out, and these will fit the two side panels on the tunnel, and then this is the actual passenger floor piece right here. So I'll go take these patterns and I'll put them on some metal, draw it out, cut them out, and start test fitting. Shaping up in here a little bit. We've got the ram board kind of representing what the other panels will look like, and we've got this one passenger side floor panel in. I still want to pull it back out and do some bead rolling on it. Yeah, but we're getting closer to getting some floor in this thing. So I've got to order some more sheet metal and some more pieces to do the support bars that I talked about, 3-inch by 1-inch pieces of support. So I gotta get that on the way so I can finish this up, and then we'll continue to work through up into the toe boards, into the front, and then after we get that done, we'll start moving back here. And I've got plenty of sheet metal to do this stuff. I'm not going to do it quite as thick of sheet metal. This is going to be 20 or 18 gauge in the floor, and then I'm going to go thicker panels over the tunnel just for protection for the driver and the passenger, just in case that transfer case were to scatter or something like that. We're pushing a lot of power through it, so if anything were to happen, I want it to be safe in here. So I'm going to order some thicker sheet metal up there. But you can kind of see we're getting there. I can start mounting the seats in here a little bit, start mocking that up soon, and start the drive shaft, excuse me, I can start the steering shaft, changing that out, and then really we're ready to take the body off pretty much at any time now. I've got enough of everything solidified in here that I can pull this body off now, start cleaning it up, sandblast the inside, and yeah, start looking like a real car at some point. So that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for this this episode of Southeast Speed Shop. Hope you guys are staying safe. Take care of each other, love each other out there. It's some tough times. I know we're kind of stuck inside, and it's getting kind of hectic and crazy. So just take care of yourselves and try to love one another a little bit. All right, guys. See you next time. Southeast Speed Shop.